And what we will find is when we're live, there is a little bit of lag. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, Ken. Let me go ahead and I'm going to record to this computer here. Okay, so I want to welcome everybody this evening to the first of what we believe is going to be a new series for American Heritage College, and we're going to be focusing on the professional mindset. Now, many of you might wonder, what is the professional mindset? Some of you may know what that is, or you may have a definition for yourself. My goal with this series is to talk to industry professionals, and with that, I'm going to be asking them, what is their definition of mindset? And other series of questions. How have they used the professional mindset to be successful, maybe in the industry, as a person, as a family member? So I'd like you to just sit back and listen this evening. Again, this is our first of many. And what I'd like to do now is introduce Mr. Ken Konesco. Thank you, Ken, for joining me this evening. I appreciate you being here. And let me tell you, crowd, just a little bit about Mr. Konesco. Mr. Ken Konesco was the president of and CEO of Harrison College from 1986 to 2012. He had an enrollment of over 7,000 students, which encompassed 15 locations and in excess of 800 employees. Prior to that, he was employed by Bryant & Stratton from 1971 to 1986 in numerous capacities, including the president, dean, an instructor, and even an admissions counselor. Ken retired from his active service in 2012, but he hasn't actually retired completely.
That's true.
Ken's been a past commissioner with ACICS, or the Accrediting Commission for Independent Schools and Colleges, where he served from 1994 to 2000. He also served as the chairman from 1999 to 2000. In addition, Ken served as the director for the Indiana Association of Proprietary Schools and Colleges in excess of 15 years, where he served as the president from 1998 to 2007. He served as commissioner on the committee in the Indiana Commission for Proprietary Schools since 1999, and he continues to remain active. Ken has served on numerous educational and civic boards, both locally and nationally. He's been recognized both locally and nationally, receiving numerous awards to include the coveted Career College Lifetime Achievement Award and Sagamore of Wabash in Indiana. Ken is most passionate about helping and guiding others in achieving their maximum potential and skills and talents. Over his 40-plus year career, he's been focused on helping people succeed, and throughout the career, he's been directly and indirectly responsible for transforming the lives of hundreds of thousands of graduates and employees. Upon retirement, Ken remains totally committed to continuous passion of helping people and seeing them succeed. His goals remain to provide, those he continues to mentor to teach them what he has learned in practice throughout his career. His vision remains focused on the mantra, faith, family, health, and job, and how these principles lead to success. Ken lives the principle of problems are opportunities, and if one focuses on the positive aspects of life and gives back to others and society initially, success will follow. That right there, Ken, that leads right into what we're talking about this evening, which is, again, the professional mindset. And I appreciate the time that you and I have had to get to know each other. And I welcome this opportunity to give you the chance to kind of share with others. So I really want to just dive kind of right into some of the questions this evening. What I'd like to do is I'd like you to tell me a little bit about what is your definition of professional mindset?
Well, first and foremost, Terry, again, it's been my pleasure to work with you over the last 6+ months, and thank you for that very kind introduction. It was not necessary, but I appreciate it. As you mentioned, I was blessed and privileged to have a great career of 40+ years, and to me, I didn't have a job. I can truly say that I enjoyed every day, I enjoyed every week, I enjoyed every month, and every year for that 40+ years. And my the people ask me why, how is it that your job is fun? And I think the first thing that people need to understand is that you need to have a passion, and you mentioned it several times in the introductory. And if you don't have this immense passion, then my recommendation is to find what that is, and then go for it from there. The passion will follow in suit. But the next critical element is establishing one's professional mindset. In all candor, that is what became my formula for success in the 40+ years. It literally defined me and it literally shaped me. So as per your question on how one defines a professional mindset, in its most simplistic term, in my mind, it encompasses the following. First and foremost, one's perception. How do you see situations, as problems or as opportunities, which you alluded to? And opportunities to take a negative and make it a positive. We've all heard the saying, taking those lemons and making lemonade. What am I going to do with these lemons? Well, you're going to make lemonade out of them. Or many people envision this glass and they say, oh, it's empty. And other people see it's full if it's halfway there. And the fact that one has to see it as a full glass is certainly a positive way to look at it. So developing one's outlook in life with the goal of being positive. Bottom line, professional mindset is the pathway to happiness, and happiness in one's professional and personal life. And your mindset determines whether people gravitate towards you or away from you. And many of us have been in opportunities, maybe not this past year because of the COVID, where we've been in groups and we've had naysayers, we've had negative people, and it's just a tendency for us to veer away from those negative people because we don't want to, continually look at negative situations. So situations where you're involved with other people, you need to stay away from the evil, stay away from the bad, and your mindset develops your mission in life. And where there are priorities, and you mentioned it already, in life, it needs to be positive. And I said, there's 4 simple words, and you stated them earlier: faith, family, health, and job. And that is what my mindset is set on, whether it's in my personal life or whether it's in my professional life. Your mindset, Terry, establishes your identity. What is unique about me? What is unique about you? Your mindset establishes what is it that describes you, or that defines you, for that matter. And what is it that you want to be remembered in your legacy, whenever that legacy, and upon my situation in retirement, as you mentioned, yes, I did retire, but you never retire. I mean, you're always active if you have that passion. So that's how I see the professional mindset, how I define it.
Very good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, for anybody that might be listening in on the live, if you have a chat available or if you would like to ask questions, please leave it in the comment. We are streaming this to both our YouTube live channel, American Heritage College. We're also streaming this to Facebook Live at the moment. So this is the opportunity for you to ask questions that, while we might not be able to answer them right now for you, I'll be happy to share them with Mr. Konesco afterwards, especially if you have more questions for him, or even for me. And, one of these days I'll share what's helped me to get to my professional mindset, because it's taken me a long time to get there. I'm not as fortunate as some others. And I've really had to find the ways. And it's, I think, Mr. Konesco or Ken, one of the things you kind of alluded to is, it's a continuous process. Right. It's part of that learning. And it's honestly, for me, it's that being happy with what we do.
Correct.
And I think that if you're not happy, you've got to find that way. If you're not confident, maybe you've had something happen, you've got to find that confidence to be able to move forward,
Right.
right?
Exactly.
You kind of answered a couple of those questions. One of the questions I wanted to ask you, because I had a couple others, but again, you've already kind of answered those, so I won't go into those, so you have to repeat. But one of the things I did want to ask you is, within your professional career, and even in your personal life, how do you want to be remembered?
Well, I talked a little bit about as far as the purpose and the legacy that one is it that I want to leave. But the let me talk just a little bit quickly though about as far as that's right, we covered that already. Let me just go to this one. So within your personal or professional life, as you ask me, how do I want to be remembered? My ultimate goal is that people benefit from our mutual experiences and carry it forward from what they learned and what we together experienced. You know, it's that golden rule of do unto others as others do to you. I was very fortunate in my upbringing many years ago, before you were probably born, Jerry. But anyways, many years ago, in my parents teaching me and reminding me that it's first and foremost to do unto others before you do it to yourself. And that was my upbringing. And I'm proud to say that our three kids worked in the business at Harrison College. Jason was president for a while. Mark was vice president of marketing, and Jenny was in charge of online. And I'm proud to say that our 9 grandkids have been taught that from their great grandfather of doing unto others first or giving to others first before you give to. So where I'm going with this is that you know the people that I have personally and professionally been involved with for that 40 years, I hope that I have been able to engage with them to take the next step in thinking of others first before they think of themselves. And secondly, leave this place in a better place than when we arrived. And we say that to our children, we say that to our whomever, and I mean that with sincerity. I would have hoped that Harrison College, which went from 500 students to 70 or 67,000 students, excuse me, and we went from 10 employees to 800 employees, I would have hoped they all benefited from that period of time that they were with us and all the tremendous benefits and what they gave back to us. And it was a family. I mean, it was a family of 800 people, and we all cried together. We all laughed together. So that's what I'm hoping to remember, be remembered for, is that when they teach it to their kids or to their grandkids, they're going to say, you know what? When I was at Harrison College, we had this crotchety old CEO that would tell me, you know, to give back to others, et cetera, et cetera. And so that's one thing. You know, recognize others first, and then yourself last. And you mentioned it earlier. This goal of continuous improvement, CI, you know, continuous improvement, both in one's not only professional life, but it's his or her personal life. And really, people sometimes just keep them separate. They can't. They've got to be together. Your personal life, your professional life, and if you have behavior one way at work and another way in your personal life, you're asking for a disaster. You're asking for trouble. So if you were to ask me that question, that's what I would hope that they would remember me for.
Yeah. Thank you. And I really like that you said that because, over the years, we've been told, as you were just alluding to there, we've been told you've got to keep the family life and the work life separate. But I think it's very difficult, and you definitely, I think, from my perspective,
Right.
hit that on the head,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that in the workplace too, one of the things, and maybe COVID has brought this to light a little bit for us. We have to be honest, we have to be authentic, we have to care about our team members. We have to
Right.
get to know them to take care of them, right? We take care of each other. I mean, think about it. We, for years, or at least me, I've spent more time with the people at work than I did at home,
Again, it's a
right?
family. It's a
It
family.
is. It's a family. And I think sometimes though we tried to keep that so separate that we lost track of the reality of
Yeah.
it, from my perspective,
Right.
right?
Right.
So how have you, and this is the one part about going live, I have a dog right here that's deciding to hit the chair so I apologize everyone that might be watching in on us. And now the cat wants to get involved. But anyway, if you had to give your younger self some advice, and we'll keep it towards that professional mindset, right? What would you say to him or her today?
Yeah. Again, I'm going to be a little bit repetitive,
And
but
I do
it's
apologize for
oh,
that.
no. But the again, I hear through the 40 years as college president, I heard so many students saying, you know what, I really got to go to that job in the morning and I hate going there and I make a lot of money. And I say to them, just what I alluded to earlier. Well, then why? If you don't have a passion for that position or that passion for that career, you may have to take a lesser amount of money, but in the long run, it's going to come back and you're going to make more money. Why? Because you're so passionate about what you're doing. It's going to be a great experience. So that's the first thing I tell young students, to really be enthralled, really be passionate of what you're doing. And then secondly, be yourself. Be yourself. Don't try to be somebody that is different than yourself. Integrity, all those skills of, if you're supposed to show up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Of course, now it's a little bit different because everybody with the pandemic, and you're working on your own self-time, et cetera, et cetera. But be true to yourself as if you were true to your supervisor or to your company, et cetera, et cetera. So the ethics of the passion, the ethics of the integrity, and don't fake it. I mean, if you make a mistake, if you fail, I mean, to be honest with you, I never told you maybe, but I was fired one time, and
Yeah.
I still to this day. But you know what? I learned from that experience. I still today think that was the wrong decision to be made, but that's okay. And what it did, it caused me to go out of my comfort zone, and without being fired, to be honest with you, I would have never been the president and the CEO of Harrison College. So it
Yes.
worked out better than. So what I'm trying to say is, people need to fail, people need to trip. But once you do that, don't continue time after time after time after time.
Absolutely.
Get out of that negative habit, that wrong habit, and create for yourself the positioning of, here's what I did wrong, but here's what I'm doing to correct it, and move forward. So I think I would say that. So honesty, passion, being upfront with yourself, and again, imparting take care of others first before you take care of yourself. I mean, that's critical.
Wow. Thank you for that. And I am glad you were honest about, like you said, the accountability in making mistakes, because I
Yeah.
think that sometimes as people, we're taught that you don't make mistakes,
Yeah.
right? When you make mistakes, you fail. Sometimes I think we learn more from those mistakes. And
Absolutely.
I've been in that same boat as you. And I will tell you, that, and I know, that when I had a similar instance happen to me, that's when I lost my mindset and I had to find it
Sure.
because it really did affect me, right? It made me believe that I wasn't capable of doing the things that I know I can.
Yeah.
And, I think one of the things I would like people that might be listening in, whether it's this evening or at the future series, is to understand that those things that you fail at actually make you stronger.
Right.
So, but as you mentioned, just don't allow it to keep happening.
Correct.
Right. I
Correct.
think that's very, very
Correct.
important.
Correct.
Well, Ken, I want to thank you for joining me this evening. I think this was a great opening session for what
Sure.
I believe is going to be a great series for American Heritage College. For those of you that are watching or are going to listen to the recording, please know that not only are we going to be doing these series, but if you feel compelled and you want to work on that mindset, we have worked the professional mindset into a variety of different boot camps, depending on the person's specialty. We have 10-week mastery certificate programs. But the cool thing is, we want to spread the knowledge to many out there. So if you're not ready to commit to maybe again a boot camp or to a 10-week program, look out for our different team members as they present workshops, uh, other live sessions with interviewees, and they share with you some ways that maybe you can become a better professional for yourself or just a better person. Because to me, that's one of the most important things is trying to be a better person every day.
Right.
Again, Ken, thank you for being here. Before we end, do you have any last words?
You just hit me very quickly with a thought.
Yes, sir.
And underestimating oneself. Again, we graduated from Harrison, I don't know, almost 800,000 students over that period of time since 1902. But people would have come to us who did trip, who maybe didn't find success from a four-year university and found that maybe this is the direction I need to take. And all I'm saying is that everyone that's been put on this earth has so much to give. Sometimes we're put into the wrong path. Sometimes we're put into the wrong major. But there's so much good, so much that people can give back to society. It's just a matter of finding it. So I would suggest to the audience that please never give up, because we all have so much to offer, so much untapped wealth. And it's just a matter of if American Heritage can help you out in one of our boot camps, but everybody should take on that positive attitude and take on the world. We will be successful.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ken. And then tomorrow night, just wanted to let everyone know, tomorrow evening, we have Dr. Mindy Sloan, which Ken, as you know, is a wonderful colleague of ours, that will be joining me at 4 p.m. Eastern. So again, I will be posting this recording for everyone, and hopefully we can see you there tomorrow. But again, I am sure I will have Ken on in the future, and we'll talk about some other things. So
well, thank you for the opportunity.
Everyone has a wonderful evening. Again, thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
And you please have a great evening, Ken.
Will do. Likewise.